I'm running the Keysight BenchVue program on the big TV here, and the power supply is over on the right. I'm going to plug it into the USB port, and you can see that it shows up as a device down in the right hand corner here. If I double click on that, it tries to connect through the USB port, and it pops up with all three power supplies. So I'm looking at the yellow channel here. It says it's plus 6 volts and it's off. I can turn it on, and you can see it over on the power supply that it turns on, or I can turn it off, and I can adjust the voltage. Let's make the set point voltage 5 volts, and we can see that it adjusted the set point of the 6 volt supply to 5 volts. The current limit is set to 10 amps. So if I set that to 1 amp, it changes the set point over on the power supply. So let's set up the other supplies. Let's set this one to be 3.3 volts and 1 amp again. So this is the blue channel, and I set it up for 3.3 volts and 1 amp. And the green channel, let's try 12 volts and again 1 amp. Now I can turn them all on, and we can see the yellow channel's on, now the green channel is on, and now the blue channel is on. So let's try doing a sequence. We can use this and program it. So let's grab I think I'll turn them off first. And I'm just dragging the power supply over into the sequencing pane over here. And I'm making the set channel on off as on. So this is going to be the low voltage turning on. And we can drag anything in orange over there and use it as a setup. So let's drag the voltage, and let's set it up to do a sweep. And it's going to go from, let's go from 0 volts to 5 volts in 1 volt increments. And we can click on this and get a timing pop up. So we want this delay to be something we can see, so let's set it to be 500 milliseconds. Okay. And let's drag another block out there. Say the green channel. We'll do the same thing. We'll set it on and sweep its voltage from 0 to 12. And let's do 2 volt increments. And the time between steps, let's make it 200 milliseconds. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll try it. And there's a run button down here which we can run. I'm just trying to get more of this programming section on the screen. So let's run it and see what happens. So we're seeing the 5 volts going up in steps and the 12 volts then continuing on. What if we put the so you can see the way this programming block system works is if we embed the sequence from the green channel inside the yellow channel, it executes the entire sequence for the green channel for each step of the yellow channel. So we can, what can we do here? Let's change the color to actually reflect what the channel we're on. So this one's going to be green. And the first one was actually yellow, the yellow channel. So that should be what's happening on the actual power supply. And so this is showing what will happen, and if I hit the execute button, it will make it happen. So first it has to turn things off, and then it starts its program, and you can see that it's executing the sequence of both channels just the way it was mapped out originally. So I'm just playing around with it. I really haven't learned how to do this in great detail, but obviously it's fairly simple to pick up the concept and program it to do just about anything you like. So the bottom line with this is that the BenchVue program gives us pretty good control over all the parameters on the power supply, and we can do things like program sequences. There's a data logger function as well, so we can record the readings from the power supply over time. You can set the sample interval all the way up to days. Looks like 100 days. So this can be doing long-term data logging. Very powerful. But that's a quick overview of BenchVue controlling the Keysight power supply.